Welcome to part 3 of Mega Man 6, and we're still in Yamato Man stage. And right off the bat, take the upper path, not the lower path. Why? Because only Rush Jet can reach it. And why would Rush Jet only be able to reach it? Simple, they're hiding some beat parts up here. You always know which path is the right path when it's a path you can't reach normally, you know? If you can't reach it as a normal Mega Man, then the beat parts are there. The beat parts are in Yamato Man, Tomahawk Man, Knight Man, and Centaur Man stages. That's why I did the first 4 levels first. That's why I did the first 4 levels the way I did. Booyah! But we've made our way to Yamato Man, the Japanese robot, who dislikes the English. And he has a spear, and it's quite powerful. It hurts quite a bit, rather. Tomahawk is his weakness, and Tomahawk is a weapon that you shoot forward and then it goes up. And I don't think I explained that when we got the power-up, but we saw Tomahawk Man do it himself, so you got the gist of it. He has 2 attacks. He'll jump up and shoot 3 arrows at you, and that's pretty hard to dodge, and it makes the fight a lot harder than it needs to be. And he also has this attack where he shoots the spear at you, and after it hits you, or misses you, or whatever, it gets stuck in the wall, and he goes over to the wall, walks over to it to get it back. So you have to jump over him once. So not only are you jumping over the spear he's throwing at you, you have to jump over him too. We get the Yamato Spear for defeating him, and Yamato Spear is pretty much just a projectile attack like the regular Mega Buster, only, you know, stronger. And it wastes energy. And we got the E beat parts, which are awesome. So now, let's head on to Knight Man. And Knight Man was designed after a knight of medieval time. He has defeated more than 1,000 robots in duel. Ho ho! So he's like a champion, eh? He would have won that first annual robot tournament, methinks. Well, Knight Man, we're gonna have to prove you still a pussy in comparison to Mega Man. A good point, he has a spirit of chivalry. That's nice. A bad point, he has a one-track mind. He likes honor, and he dislikes dirty tricks. So he wouldn't like Dr. Wily. I mean, after all, he threw a grenade at us in Mega Man The Wily Wars. For no fucking reason. He already lost and he throws a grenade at me. Son of a bitch! Knight Man's castle, when you have Jet Mega Man, like I do, is a lot easier to traverse through. I love Jet Mega Man, but it also makes the game so much easier. You never have to go through, like, reappearing, disappearing blocks. You never have to have any real trouble with platforms. I mean, he can't charge up his shots, and he can't slide. But even still, I mean, the regular Mega Buster does okay by itself, as you've seen me handle enemies all the time with it. Oh, and there's Eddie. I think we met Eddie earlier, but I never mentioned him. Of course, he is the same as he has been in Mega Man 4 and 5. He's your item purse that walks around giving you items. He's so fun. Another energy tank. I'm gonna be loaded by the time this game's over. Thanks, Jet Mega Man. You make reaching objects oh so easy. This whole room, these aren't spikes I'm avoiding. They're like springs and stuff, but they bounce you out all around the room really crazily, and you can get hurt on spikes quite a bit. So that's why I just chose to jump over them, though some would find it fun to bounce around. The boss door is over there, but the hidden passageway is right where the boss door is, and there's the second boss door. Booyah! That is where the other beat parts are going to be, so this is the door we want to go in. It's swell, ain't it? And we, of course, are going to be Yamato Man, because Yamato is good against Knight Man. Even though Yamato Man likes Knight Man, he is his strength. Anyway, Knight Man here, he has a ball chain, or a, I don't know, chain ball or whatever. It shoots in either direction, and he stops to shoot it, and he takes a while to stop and shoot it. And he jumps around, and I think he does something else, but I don't know if he does do anything else, because I kill him way too quick to find out. Point is, he has a chain ball. It'll go forward where you are. You can jump over it, but it'll only go as far as you are. It's not going to go past you unless you jump over it, and even then, it's going to come back from where it was to go back to the Robot Master. So, you know, watch where you are. And the Night Chain is awesome for you because you can swing it in whatever direction you want as well, but it has a limited reach. You can only go so far before it comes back to you. So, you know, be sure to remember that. But anyway, here we are in Centaur Man stage. And Centaur Man is your typical underwater stage. Of course, when you're underwater, you jump a lot higher. I don't know why it's Centaur Man stage, but I guess they don't have any water robot masters, do they? So, you know. Gotta put something in there. Centaur Man. His Centaur Flash can bend the dimensions, but a large amount of energy has to be consumed. Holy shit, he bends dimensions. A good point, he's decisive. A bad point, he dwells on things. Like if he didn't say goodbye, or if he didn't give the waiter a tip, he's gonna dwell on it a lot, you know. He likes gambling. I can see why. And he dislikes whips. So he wouldn't be a fan of the Castlevania series. Oh well, his loss. So here is the underwater goodness, or badness, whatever you want to think of it as. Okay, this is a weird part. This is where the water is actually rising and lowering from the ceiling. I'm not sure how that works. But again, Centaur Man can bend the dimensions, so maybe that's how it works. Basically, you just want to wait till the water is right at your head when you jump for this gigantic spike leap of death, and you should be fine. This game is very generous, though. It's no question why I think this is the easiest Mega Man game of them all. I mean, they leave energy tanks and health upgrades almost everywhere. Hey, thanks, Annie. I always wanted another energy tank. And you know, yeah, the boss masters aren't the hardest in the game, or the hardest in the series. The levels, I guess they're kinda hard. I mean, they're still hard for Mega Man standards, but, you know. In terms of the overall scope of the series, the levels are actually easier. And besides, Jet Mega Man, you can fly over everything. I mean, if you really wanted to beat this game easily with no problem whatsoever, Jet Mega Man is the way to go, people! And you know, I can beat all the Robot Masters with the Mega Buster, and that's a good thing, I guess, but, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose of weaknesses. Anywho, this door you can't reach without Jet Mega Man, so go figure, it has the last of the beat parts, and that's why you want to go through this door. Remember, going through the wrong door, you don't get the beat parts, and we want to get Beat because he's a useful robot bird who, you know, does all the work for me. And here's Centaur Man. Centaur Man can warp around the room whenever he wishes, kind of like Motaro from Mortal Kombat. Go figure, because he's a centaur too. He also stops time every now and then, and his one attack is he shoots a pellet that shoots into other pellets. But the funny thing about this pellet, he shoots it right above your head, so if you stand there, it's going to go over you, and if you're far away from where the explosion of pellets are, like, they're still not going to hit you. They're still going to be over your head or under you, and it's pretty funny. Centaur Man is no problem at all. He stops time, and that sucks, but, you know, he's easy to fight. We get Centaur Flash, which is a attacks everything on screen, but it wastes huge energy type of move, you know? It's kind of like Gravity Hold from Mega Man 5. But we finally defeated all the Robot Masters, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what that means. It's time to tackle Big Bad Mr. X. Mr. X. And you know, I'm still buzzing over the fact that Dr. Wily was following someone's orders all along. I mean, it sort of explains a lot. I mean, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily used to be friends, and then all of a sudden he turns into a big douchebag. Well, they weren't friends, they were just colleagues, but you get the idea. And Dr. Wily is a coward. It would make sense that he's following someone else's orders. Still, if this guy is in control of Dr. Wily, and Dr. Wily must be scared of him, that's why he worked for him, then Mr. X must be quite the foe indeed, and we must be extremely, extremely careful, even if earlier I said this is the easiest game in the series. Ignore that, because clearly Mr. X must be tough. And the most of Mr. X1 is a lot of climbing the building with Jet Mega Man and ladders and whatnot, and there's a lot of spikes, and those stupid floating turrets, which I hate so much. So this level can be quite bothersome. But we'll see the rest of this in Part 4.